Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm Njoya TIKUM. I work with the United Nations Development Program with the regional office, which is based in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa. But I'm originally from Cameroon. Cameroon, of course, is between the west and the central part of Africa. So it's a great pleasure to be in Morocco. This is my first time in Morocco. Morocco has a very rich history on the continent of Africa, so I'm really pleased to be here and to have the opportunity to interact with policy thinkers around the globe. Well, I've got to tell you, on the continent of Africa, most of the discussions happening about young people, about the future of the continent, has always excluded young people. And since, I don't know, I still consider myself to an extent young, at least from the inside, I thought maybe the Atlantic Dialogue as a whole and the Emerging Leaders Program provided an excellent platform for me to meet another young people from the globe that are thinking like I do, but also for me to interact with people who have been there, done it. So people who are shaping policies for Africa or around the Atlantic basin as well, but people who have gone through the challenges our generation is currently going through. This is a unique opportunity, but also to have a chance to meet with some of the fellows from OCP Policy Center, because I think they're doing cutting edge research, which for those of us who are interested in policy-related activities and work, it's an opportunity for interaction. And of course, we had a couple of these where we just had to learn a lot of leadership issues as young emerging leaders. That was quite fun, but not just fun, but I think living in Morocco, I live with a lot of new skills on how to communicate, on how to negotiate, on how to draft policy, on how to buy consensus. Which are things, frankly speaking, that I think my generation needs to know as we also prepare ourselves to be the leaders for not tomorrow, but for the immediate future, or as we prepare ourselves to take leadership positions in our countries, in our communities, in our little neighborhood. So this is very timely, and I wouldn't have missed the opportunity to apply. Fortunately for me, of course, I was given the chance to come here and share and learn from these experienced people. Well, I've got to tell you, when I first came, I thought I was most looking forward to meeting the emerging leaders, the other emerging leaders. That happened over the course of 3 days. I really enjoyed myself. You know, I got re-inspired by the talent that exists within my generation, not just in Africa, but around the world. But beyond that, I think the discussions happening here, facilitated by the OCP Policy Center, of course, and the German Marshall Fund for USA, it has been tremendous. Yesterday, I had the privilege to listen from the president of Nigeria. I had the privilege to listen from the former president of Nigeria, the former president of Costa Rica. Today, I had the privilege to listen from somebody who I personally consider an idol, Jose Ramos from Timor, who later on broke out a peace deal in Guinea-Bissau. You don't get that every day. What am I really looking for? I'm looking forward to receiving the same kind of interaction with that caliber of people. It's a unique opportunity to learn from people who have led countries. It's a unique opportunity to learn from people, I mean, beyond the heads of state. We also had some creative thinkers throughout, the week. For me, I'm really looking forward to now trying to maybe go beyond this dialogue and maybe interrogating some of these leaders on how effectively can we translate all what has been discussed around the transatlantic relationship. How can we translate into something that can benefit communities in my country or in my part of the continent? How can this dialogue translate into something that my grandmother in the village would understand? Or how can this dialogue translate into an opportunity for my sister in a community that is not privileged to be here? How can these dialogue or these discussions translate into giving the same platform to young people who are not as privileged as myself to take a flight to Morocco, but who would like to see some of the discussions here translate into improving their lifestyle, elevating them out of poverty. So I have to tell you, I think there's still more to come. But even if I were to leave today, I'm extremely pleased with the caliber of interaction I've had this far. I'm also still looking forward to the former Prime Minister of Senegal, a lady I really respect in my part of the region. I'm looking forward to her discussion. I have struggled to have some bilateral discussions with some of the people I mentioned earlier. Some of them have been forthcoming. I've met with a lot of them. It's also an opportunity to just get mentorship, to just get people talk to you about how you can become a leader. The mistake we make most times in Africa is that we see leadership at the presidential level. But in my experience, doing what I do, I think the real leadership that is extremely impactful are those that exist at the community level, those that changes people's life on how to get access to a healthcare system, how to get access to schools without paying bribe of corruption and things like that. So I think the discussion is a good platform. I am still looking forward to more. I'm also looking forward to knowing Morocco very well. We're in Marrakesh. Unfortunately, I haven't had the opportunity to go out. I would love to interact more with the fellows from the OCP Policy Center. And I think I have some appointments already. So in fact, all around, I'm incredibly happy. I'm looking forward to more. I'm looking forward to transmitting or transposing this dialogue into sub-Saharan Africa as well.